Unit 6. Listening Part 3. Exercise 2. Speaker 1.
This is my first student job, and I'm a part-time hospital porter taking patients to different departments for treatment. It's hard physical work, but I think I expected that when I started. For me, the best thing's the human contact with, older people who've had interesting lives. Well, actually, everyone's older than me. I'm only 18. I hear lots of good stories, and they have the opportunity to talk about things outside the hospital, which probably makes them feel better and brightens up their stay a bit. At least, I think it does.
Speaker 2.
I'm just 17 and I'm working as a trainee receptionist in a hotel. I'm normally quite shy really, but I'm really happy to be doing this job because it's great to be getting some work experience. Anyway, they've given me lots of responsibility quite early on, so I've learnt to do all the sorts of things which you need for almost any job. Really practical things, like how to answer the phone correctly. Not just saying, hey, or whatever. On some occasions, I've also been left on my own in charge of the whole hotel. That's really built up my self-confidence.
Speaker 3.
Well, nobody expects babysitting to be a complete doddle, at least not when there are 3 small kids to look after. But, their mum's very nice and she did warn me, and she's paying me over the usual rate because she knows what it's like. She has to have them when I'm not around, but I really think I've let myself in for a lot more than I bargained for. I've done babysitting before, but it's never been like this. They never stop running around and shouting. And bath time, well, that's just chaos. I reckon I get wetter than they do.
Speaker 4.
It isn't a very well-paid job, and it's not exactly fun, but then first jobs usually aren't. But I'm earning my own money for the first time. Not enough to live on, but it's a start. I'm working in a call centre for a large computer company, answering customers' queries, complaints, whatever. Sometimes they just want information, but often it's a real problem which I have to help them sort out. Sometimes it's quite simple, and that's fine because with a few instructions they go away happy, but I don't have any training in computer skills, so often I can't help them, and I hate that.
Speaker 5.
Well, I'm only making the tea and coffee and running round doing odd jobs. I'm a typical runner on a film set, basically. It sounds terribly glamorous, doesn't it? But the money's not great. Actually, I reckon it costs more in train tickets than I actually earn. But what an experience! I'm getting to see exactly how films are made, and the people are really funny, so there are lots of laughs on set. Though I do have to keep quiet and only speak when spoken to. There's even the possibility that I'll be given a small part, and that'd be a dream come true.
Unit 6. Speaking Part 2. Exercise 3.
Here are your photographs. They show young people doing jobs. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say what you think the people are learning from doing these 2 types of work.
Well, okay. So, firstly, I can say that both photos show young people, perhaps teenagers, working. Both the jobs in the photos involve working in situations where they need good skills in dealing with people in the correct way. I'm sure neither of them is very well paid. Anyway, the first photo shows a girl serving young people in a restaurant, whereas in the second photo, a boy is working with children and coaching them to play football. The girl's job may be full-time, whereas the boy's is probably part-time. I think both can learn a lot from these jobs. The girl can learn how to keep customers happy, while the boy has to keep children in order. The girl has to learn to work efficiently under pressure. On the other hand, the boy has to learn to keep cool. He'll probably learn not just to deal with children, but also their parents.
Thank you. Antonia, which of these jobs would you prefer to do?
I prefer to coach children than work in a restaurant because really I enjoy being in the fresh air more than being indoors. And I like kids.
Thank you.
Unit 6. Pronunciation. Exercise 2.
Anyway, the first photo shows a girl serving young people in a restaurant, whereas in the second photo, a boy is working with children.
Unit 6. Pronunciation. Exercise 3.
The girl's job may be full-time, whereas the boy's is probably part-time. The girl can learn how to keep customers happy, while the boy has to keep children in order. He'll probably learn not just to deal with children, but also their parents.
I'd prefer to coach children than work in a restaurant because really I enjoy being in the fresh air more than being indoors.